Salut à tous les popis, c'est Popitox et j'espère que vous avez tous la forme. Aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour l'épisode 40 de GreedFall et on va finir la mission là. Celle-là là, les expériences du docteur Salut. Voilà, tout simplement. Allez go.
Your Excellency, Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horror. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn them.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of noughts.
Noughts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. What was done with the prisoners that were...
They were freed. The Denea Extrigau are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally some good...
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of... Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
Bon.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell.
Bon. Mission accomplie. Le procès. Proposer son aide à la procureure. Alors, ce qu'on va faire, hein. C'est par là-bas. C'est où? C'est là.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
Oh, it is you who arrested Dr. Asili.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence?
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will...
There were also some noughts. Perhaps I could convince some of the doctor's colleagues.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is that plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it...
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted them. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene?
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group, and no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our...
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have...
I will return to you soon. The Noughts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshadir. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
Ouais, y en a des trucs à faire alors. Analyser la poudre. On y va, hein.
Hello. I see that you're back to work.
Indeed. We were not bothered thanks to you. And here, but I don't think you're here to ask about me.
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Honor to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest, and they didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the nature. For them, the main problem is until they understand the horrors that happen.
Ok, interroger les chercheurs de laboratoire.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools.
So, what is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of them. A single pinch ingested by someone would be with the quantities that you brought me. Hundreds of people. It's terrifying. Here, these are my notes.
Thank you. I will
Très bien.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
Yes. I kept silent for far too. I know what we did was wrong, and I do not.
Thank you. Your story. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
Il est bon. Parfait. Ce que je voulais faire. T'entretenir avec un frère au sujet de la Syrie. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a les chercheurs? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a les chercheurs? Ah, en haut.
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the governor's laboratories. My main... Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the...
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us...
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame...
Ok.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has... But he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever... It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his...
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat...
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and...
Indeed. Because I think the entire work... It is obvious that he should not have used such methods. But Asili has never been very political.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused... But let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate...
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, Desade. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. Asili's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper. And what we discovered in this, we must condemn him, not only so he can pay for, but to free science from these kinds of...
Very well. You've convinced me. It is true that it's time to turn the page and...
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar.
Voilà.
His testimony would convince the judges.
Mission accomplie. Je sors où moi? Par là. Bon. Là c'est quoi là? Convaincre un autre de témoigner. Casse-toi. Oh là. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying.
The doctor will be judged. I suppose...
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt...
Don't worry. I won't from now on. My people will watch over me, and I intend to witness the execution of our torture.
Thank you. Your word will be...
Ok. Carrément. Il voulait la tuer. Bon. Maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'il reste à faire? S'entendre avec Afra. Elle est où Afra? Elle est là.
Desarde, I'm happy. Can I do anything for you?
How did you feel when we visited the cave?
Astonishment, I think. I felt as if I had reached my... It was strangely moving, I think. What about you?
It could have been a perfect moment, had it just been the two of us. Like those young people.
Is that really the only thing you took away from this experience? I'm starting to think that my masters were right. Anything else?
What do you think of the love that unites those young people?
It's true. I don't think I've ever stumbled upon two people on the continent where everything is political.
Is it that you're starting to believe in love?
Who told you I did not believe in it? When it is sincere, anything else?
Do you think that attending the...
Yes, obviously. This ritual made me understand the power. This new vision gives me new perspectives.
I hope I'll be lucky enough to be by your side.
We share amazing memories now. And I can't imagine this new life without anything else.
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this.
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives he spoke of them as test subjects. Never, but there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as... I was blind. And stupid.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all
No. I may have believed that without, of course, ever imagining that we'd resort to... But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limit. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest out. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments.
Would you be willing to testify against?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up, and even if it costs me dearly. I want my mask. Anything else?
Bon ben...
Tell me about your studies with Dr. Asili.
He was not always mad, you know. He was a renowned doctor back in Al-Sad. His unusual methods saved many lives, and he taught me a lot. He was a great teacher. It's only when I joined him on the island that I understood. He seemed changed and completely obsessed with the Malachor. He was so shaken by that. He knows such a waste for the...
I'm under the impression that you've not learned as many things as you...
That's true. I hope to discover the... But instead, I don't know, the links that connects them and the power of them. I wonder if this couldn't become another subject for study. If I said that in Al-Sad, people would think I've gone mad. Learning about the natives would allow us to stop being afraid of them.
Ok.
I must leave you.
Bon. Maintenant il reste à retrouver le survivant. Ok. Allez, go. Voilà.
Hey! You are the Anolmenawe who freed us.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and he has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims...
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahar. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much. I believe our investigation is coming to an end. Let's find the prosecutor.
Bon. Mission accomplie. Voilà. On a fini la mission. C'est ça qui est bon. On peut aller voir le procureur. Par là.
You have returned, Your Excellency.
Alors.
A Naut victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will...
The islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the island...
I managed to convince the scientists in the governor's laboratory to speak in...
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the doctor...
I even got a testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very respected by the governor.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently, it's some kind of concentrate made from... It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is... There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add... You have gathered overwhelming evidence. I think we can go to trial with confidence.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not. However, I'm sure the governor will keep you...
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But the evidence he supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve.
Bon. Accompagner Afra à l'exécution.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hand? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Bon.
Desade, can I do anything?
I must leave.
Voilà. Ce pauvre connard est mort. Alors, quête annexe. Ok. Ok. La vague d'auteur Courcillon.
Sir de Courcillon.
Decidez, my young...
I found no traces of Professor Ser.
That's most regrettable. Can your old professor...
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Oh, this is remarkable work. Thanks to you, our merchants and explorers, the prince will surely be very grateful for... Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
C'est bon, hein.
Looking for...
Voilà. Et ben on va voir le cousin.
Constantine, my dear cousin. I'm always happy to...
Alors.
We managed to solve the problem of the attacks on Salut. Really? So the city and its outposts were continuously... These beasts were led by a large creature that...
This is the same creature which High King Vinbar turned into, isn't it?
Exactly. Except it looked sick and it didn't act... It was calling the animals around it and it seemed like it was... I have never seen anything like it. And there's more. Hikmet was in a similar situation.
Of course. Don't tell me that...
Yes. The governor was convinced that... And yet they were being attacked as well. And it was by their side that I fought. That time it was a Nardai Glenderman, a beach guardian. But it seemed just as sick. And it was also manipulating the...
So, it would be some kind of... I don't see what we can do about it. Actually, I think you've already done what had...
Perhaps. But I'm certain there's... These beasts attack in a coordinated fashion.
You're exaggerating, dear cousin. The attacks you thought were coordinated...
You may be right. But I can't help thinking that someone is behind...
Do you really believe that a Denegad would want to take... Cousin, you know how much I respect you, but frankly, this doesn't seem very coherent. But I see it's already quite late. Not very far, rest assured. But I have a small... Don't be concerned. There's absolutely... Use the opportunity to take some rest. You've really... See you later.
But why would he leave like that? Guard, do you know where my cousin is going?
Sorry, Your Excellency. His Highness didn't tell me anything.
You are one of his bodyguards, aren't you?
I am, Your Excellency. But recently it...
Recently? You mean this isn't the first time? You better tell me everything.
But I don't mean to be disrespectful towards him. But he sleeps very little. And goes out alone almost every night.
And it didn't occur to anyone that I should be informed?
Well, His Highness had specifically...
And where does he go? I thought...
He doesn't go to taverns, Your Excellency. From what I...
Where could he go outside the city?
I've no idea. We saw him going no...
Listen, I understand this matter is putting you in a difficult situation. You were supposed to protect my cousin wherever he went, but Constantine is not just my governor. I'm worried about him. He's already been so. If you know anything else...
I don't really know where he's going, Your Excellency. When he doesn't leave the palace, he stays in his office for hours. He writes so much down in there that he... I hope you find His Highness and manage to make...
I don't like this at all. What could he be doing outside every night?
Normally I would have said getting drunk at the tavern. But clearly that isn't the case.
I'm starting to believe that the revelations of Enon Miel Frichterman had some truth to them. Let's rummage through his papers. We may find a clue.
Ok.
These people from his madness.
Oh putain.
May the trees on your road always be.
These animals were strange, as if they were enraged. Thanks.
I'm glad I could help you. I'm looking for a young man, a Renaigse.
Someone like you?
In some ways, but his marks are different.
He's talking about the crazy Donegad.
Indeed, that might be him. Do you know where to find him?
No, we see him passing by around nightfall.
He walks along the path. Often.
He has a sinister look in his eyes.
And you do well to hide. I think he's the one who sent these animals to. Do you have any idea how I could figure out where he's going?
He could hide in the old house. You would see him passing by and could follow, couldn't he?
You're right. If you take this path to the road, you can hide there. And from up there you will...
Thank you. You've been a great help. And stay hidden.
Be prudent, Onol Manawi.
You're very isolated.
It's a long story.
When I was young, I got engaged to a young man. I thought he was, but I was wrong. As I had broken my engagement.
So, our parents came to settle here.
There. Now, do you want to know anything else?
I'll leave you.
Bon. Donc c'est par là. Ah oui, pour aller en haut. Ah d'accord. Par là.
We can't be seen from the path. Let's wait here to...
I see him. And he's not alone.
Ok.
It looks like he opened this passage for himself.
Ok. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait?
Constantine, what are you doing?
Cousin! You're here! I would have preferred that you learn all of this another way. To be able to reveal everything to you in better circumstances. But whatever power we earn, there are some things that escape us.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but what are you doing here?
I seem monstrous to you. I am well aware of that. But then you will understand. You will see. You have done so much for me. You have given me so much. I haven't forgotten, believe me. But I still have more to do. Forgive me and have patience. Hold them back. But do not kill him for anything in the world.
Putain.
Constantine, come back and explain yourself.
To think that's all now he's throwing beasts.
He's gone mad. It's the only explanation.
To my heart, and death to the others! Move away. Things are about to get dicey. Move away. Things are about to get dicey. Move away. Things are about to get dicey. Broke your armor. Be careful. Move away. Things are about to get dicey. 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 Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
Voilà.
Flesh of my earth, help me. You saw him do it, didn't you? You saw him draw from me, steal my children, my guardians, pervert my force.
Yes, but I don't understand.
What he wants, eternity. It is what they all want. Those who take good up.
He wasn't like that. He can...
Then it is the sickness. The brevity of his... You must stop him. Each time that I know it's my heart, you must kill him.
It is madness.
The consequence of his folly, yet stop him. Flesh...
I still can't believe this.
Even if I hesitate to follow the orders of a talking stone, I know what I saw, and I fear that this thing has not...
We must learn more if we want to under this hiding place he was talking about in his...
If in his folly he remembered just a small bit of what I... We will need to be discreet. And find ourselves...
You're thinking of all the creatures that he has perverted.
Precisely. And against an army we will need soldiers.
We might also be able to count on help from the Nords. We should also be able to count on Sieglinde. And of course we can also go and find the Mother Cardinal. What an absurd project. But not here. On an island where everything is possible. Let us go.
Eh ben. Alors, tous ensemble. Convaincre les natifs de participer. Le gardien il est là. Il est là le gardien. Bon. On va convaincre les... Ah. Les natifs. Ça craint, il faut tuer le cousin quoi.
What brings you here on Manawi?
I came to ask for your help in stopping my cousin, Duke. Did you hear about the attacks of creatures led by...
Yes, Darren sent a message.
My cousin was sick, and to cure him, Katasak used the bonding ritual on him. But the power he received from it made him mad. He transformed his guardians each time, and used...
What you're telling me is... Your cousin is breaking the balance. He's consuming.
Indeed. Enonmil Frictamen warned me that I cannot fight him alone. I intend to go and find the other factions and ask for their support. Because we must all stand together to stop the...
Your will to create an alliance and the call of Enonmil, we will be by your side in the battle. I am not a... And I would also like for you to take this weapon.
Thank you, Dunkus.
Don't thank me. You managed to earn my people's trust. May the earth support.
I must admit that I expected Dunkus to be more angered when he learned what Constantine had done.
He is an intelligent man. He must have guessed the purpose of our visit before we even spoke to him.
That confirms it. I made the right choice. Teofredi couldn't have a better High King.
Ouais. Il m'a donné une arme. Ça. Il m'a donné ça. Ok. On s'en fout. Maintenant, il y a quoi? Convaincre les notes de participer. Voilà. 2 minutes, hein. Voilà.
Desarde, what can
I have come to ask for your help, Admiral. My cousin has been plunged into madness. He took control of many creatures by and now he uses them to attack the cities and...
A difficult situation, admittedly, but one that does not concern us. Who's in charge of the island is none of our business, Desarde, and you know that.
It actually does concern you. If my cousin takes control of the island, he's not looking for political influence.
I see. It's a decent...
We must stop him at all costs. I already have the support of other factions, but...
And you were wrong. We will not support someone who has repeatedly shown little respect for us.
Admiral, you should look past our old disputes. The fate of the...
A fate that leaves us indifferent despite your claims. Who knows? After all, the nations of the continent will pay us...
I see.
Connard. Connard. Quelle connasse, hein. Elle a pas voulu nous aider, hein, sale putain. Putain, les gens comme ça, j'espère qu'ils vont mourir, putain. Ça doit pas exister, ça.
Your Excellency.
Lord Desarde, and to what do
I have come to solicit your...
An alliance?
You remember, no doubt, the attacks that fell upon him.
Of course. You told me that different Guardians sent...
Precisely. And the Guardians were manipulated by... This revelation will not please you, but I have no choice but to tell you. It is Constantine.
Surely you jest. Do you know how many men have died during these attacks?
Allow me to continue, I beg you. My cousins, then there was a ritual and his capture. He has been increasing these rituals in order to... He is fighting a war against everyone. And it now appears he wants to... He is preparing to attack the volcano sanctuary, and I need... It is in the name of the congregation that I come to...
That's madness. It is complete madness. I believed you sincere, Desarde. Which does not mean that I believe you now. But no matter. You are in need of men to stop your cousin.
Precisely. I have already gathered...
Let us be clear. I don't believe for an instant that this story has a... I do trust you. And since we cannot allow the crimes of your cousin to go...
Thank you, Excellency, thank you. I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Bon. Au moins lui, il vient. Parfait. Excellente nouvelle. Hein. Convaincre Telem de participer. va voir Télémé maintenant. Alors. J'espère qu'ils vont nous aider, eux, ils sont puissants aussi. Hein.
Your Eminence.
Sir de Sardet.
Do you remember I thought that someone must have been...
Yes, you thought that this guy...
And I was right, sadly.
You're hesitating.
Indeed. As the person
Does this mean that the and thanks to which obscure alliances...
Constantine acted alone, and he... As for the way he manipulated these creatures, do you remember that my cousin was sick?
Absolutely. And it is said that... Are you telling me that your cousin has made a pact with the...
Something like that. He was cured by a denegad of it, but the power he received from this made him thirsty for thus gaining control over the Guardians.
But why attack us? Did his madness make...
His thirst for power is making him want to control the island entirely by himself. And I know that for this purpose he will soon attack the natives. I won't stand a chance against all the creatures he's taken control of. Others have already joined me. But we also need this. Having a common enemy should help us forget all the...
The idea that we would protect the sanctuary from it. But you have helped us several times, and I trust you can count on our help.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Thanks to your wisdom. I must leave you.
Naturally.
Ok, elle vient. Super. Super, super. Il n'y a que les notes qu'on n'a pas pu... convertir en... Convaincre la garde du denier d'y participer. C'est les derniers, je crois. C'est les derniers à parler, après c'est bon. Les natifs ils veulent pas, ces enculés là. Pourtant je les ai sauvés. Putain, c'est comme ça qu'on me remercie. Qui vont au diable les natifs. Hein. Alors. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? C'est quoi ça? Ok, découvrir caché de Constantin. Ok, je dois monter à l'étage.
Hello, Commander.
Lord Desade, how can I be of...
I have come to ask for your help.
I'm at your service, Your Excellency. What is it?
We need reinforcements to protect the sanctuary.
Very well. I will send some troops.
Creatures, in great numbers.
I beg your pardon?
As your men must have told you, ever since he was cured of the Malachor, he is now targeting the heart of the island. If he succeeds, we're all...
I have indeed heard reports of the governor's since he is our employer. But thanks to your help, we avoided... If you're telling me that we are in danger...
Thank you, Commander.
Anything else?
Du tout.
You seem to know Kurt well.
If you're expecting her to tell you some nasty...
Don't say such silly things. We have no... anything...
Ok. Du coup les amis, j'espère qu'en tout cas que cet épisode vous aura plu. N'hésitez pas à partager, à liker, à vous abonner. Et bien sûr comme d'habitude faites ce que vous voulez. Je vous fais de très gros bisous. Et je vous dis à la prochaine pour un nouvel épisode sur GreedFall. Bisous les amis.